that we are going to get in Paris ahead of the trials. I believe actually we were able to get. Sorry.
Yeah, so there you can see the two pacemakers. Important for them to be able to be in the front so that they can be able to lead. If you can see, the pacemakers has been asked to be able to close at 2:56. There we have already started. The 5,000 meters is going on, where the pacemakers Wangari Benina and Kimboi Millicent will have to be doing at 1,000. They need to be able to put certain time. That is why for them they will be required to be doing 70 seconds for a lap. That's 1 minute 10 seconds for every lap that they are going to do. And I think the very notable names for sure. If you look at the 5,000. Morin Cherokee 15:41. We have got Master Chepkemoi, 18 years of age, with 16:25 personal best. Of course, Millicent Boy as well. She's a road racer, but as much as she has done a number of road races, but she's also a very experienced athlete. And I think something that we are experiencing here is that all the athletes are still backed up. All of them who are competing. And she's a road racer, but as much as she has done a number of road races, but she's also a very experienced athlete. And I think something that we are experiencing here is that all the athletes are still backed up, all of them who are competing, and I think we'll be able to experience these at least for the next 5 laps.
Okay, I want to digress a bit, and maybe you can explain to us about pacemakers. We have the two pacemakers, that is Margaret and Mata. Already in the world there's news about two Kenyans and an Ethiopian who went to China, and they were sort of accused of selling or throwing away the race. I think it's good that our listeners and our viewers can understand about what is pacemaking, what is legal, what is illegal.
Well, I think I will just leave the China issue for another day, Peter, because I know it's a huge controversy actually, and I think I've been following up with that. But basically, the work of the pacemaker is purely to be able to guide the athletes, because most athletes, when you are competing, and especially a race like this, that they want to be able to post a very good time. There's the importance of a race organizer for your event to have the best times that is posted in that event, so it boosts your event. And therefore, for them to be able to have a best setter, is Martin Keino was able to be able to do a lot of pacing and understand what it means. So pacemakers, they are very important for every race, and especially sometimes you use the pacemaker to be able to shoot the wind, if there's any wind. Sometimes you use them to give you the pace. Sometimes you use them to able to drive you, because when you sit behind the pacemaker, you're just following their steps.
So then, what happens if the pacemaker decides, if there's an argument? What happens if the pacemaker decides to go all the way and maybe claim victory?
Well, we have had such kind of cases whereby sometimes pacemakers, sometimes they reach certain level and they still have a lot of power, and sometimes somebody feels. I think I've seen that in a number of marathons, especially for those ones who goes all the way to 35 kilometers. Sometimes they choose, but of course there's a difficulty also when you're a pacemaker. You have to set your mind, because remember that it's all psychological. For you when you are pacing, you know that I'm supposed to be running maybe 2,000 meters, and then I'll be out. Somebody else will say that I will be doing 3,000 meters and I will be out. And if you look at the pacemakers that we have already here, they are going to do up to 2,000 meters, but the first pacemaker must be able to do at least 1,000, 1,500 meters for them, Kimboi Millicent to be able to take over from there.
And of course, watch out for the 16-year-old Alemayo Mata, currently in 3rd place. And
absolutely, I think when you have a very young. Let me say something, especially for our viewer. When you have a very young athlete, most of the time, when they come to a competition, they have nothing to lose. Most of the time, the most experienced one are always looking at his colleagues. But if you look at Alemayo, she has just come to the race. She knows very well that yes, I have to train, and the only thing that I want to do is maybe to run the time. And I think, as I said again, we are going to experience Kenya, Ethiopia fight, but it looks like currently now, Ethiopians are dominating Kip Keino for the 5,000 women.
That is Alemayo Marta of Ethiopia, currently in the lead, heading into the last 5 laps of this 5,000 meters, and of course, ahead of, just behind her, is another Ethiopian, yet again born in 2005, that is Lelmel Libret. That two Ethiopians taking advantage of the absence of Faith Kip Keino and of course Beatrice Chepkoech in this one. Robert, in the absence of the cat, the mouse must also make sure that it uses the dance floor very, very wisely. And now the Ethiopians walking on dance floor in the 5,000 meters.
It's very, very tough. As you said, the absence of Beatrice and Faith, the Ethiopians are very, very fired up. They've come down to Kenya and they are out of center statement. The young,
the first Kenyan, it's huge, huge, huge. And that shows you that maybe we are witnessing what might transpire later on in the season.
Well, I think, Craig, let's be honest here. We are always talking about building an event because of just one individual. If you look at the stipulations, for example, the exit of Ezekiel Kemoy, of course, and Conseslus, brought up a huge gap. So if we talk about the fact that we are fit, we have a lot of respect for Faith. It's very important that we have her, but it is also very important that we have other athletes that will be following the footsteps of Faith. Of course, we understand that this is the Olympic year. Most of the Kenyan athletes who are doing very well, some of them may choose to run maybe a short of...
I'm going to do it again. Does it send a statement to these athletes who say, okay, let me just try maybe a 400 meters and maybe a 800 meters I can do it at the national trials for the Olympics?
Well, of course, for those athletes who choose to run a shorter distance, they're using that for the sprints. However, it's very important also to be noted that sometimes you run that sprint and then, 800 meters becomes the distance. But I think, something that is so incredible here, with 3 laps to go, if you look at the time that, the two Ethiopians are posting right, or will be able to post, will be very good times because from the beginning they have been pushing. They decided that we are not going to wait for anyone. And if you look at the bar, she's doing very well and still pushing on her own. It tells you that an athlete is in a very good shape. It's not easy to be able to run 5,000.
And this just shows you that the Ethiopians have come here to send a statement that they want to reclaim their lost glory over the 5,000 meters, and it's all happening here. First things first, the 15 that you might be having the ground, you might be having the crowd, but we have the race.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's not like that you must have of course there's an advantage always when you have a home crowd, but of course when you are dealing with a very strong competitor, automatically the crowd may not really be able to help you. And I think looking at the shape, the form that she's pushing, it tells you that she's in a class of her own, and I think it will be very interesting to see her whether she's going to run the Olympics, because remember again, when you are still underage, you may not be able to compete the Olympics, but of course you never know. I think she could still be allowed to compete there, but of course she's in a very good shape.
Alemayo heading towards the bell as she aims to dethrone fellow Ethiopian Girman Gabriel Zaha, the winner of the last edition, who won in a time of 14 minutes 49.97 seconds as she hits the bell. That is the 16-year-old Alemayo, very clear of second place Ethiopian, of course, in this one. And this has been very impressive. This has been very interesting as she goes here. That is Alemayo for you, winner. Of course, we expect her to win the 5,000 meters. We expect her to continue dominating. At 16 years of age, you don't expect much from an athlete, but she's come down to Nairobi, come to high altitude, come to the Nairobi sunshine to ensure that she continues the tradition that the Ethiopians have set in the 5,000 meters women. Surprisingly, Kenya has the medals in the global scene, but in the Kip Keino Classic, it's the Ethiopians who've been dominating, and that is Alemayo showing the rest of the continent, showing the rest of the world that she has what it takes to dominate, like the likes of Timitiu Neshibaba, like the likes of everyone, Faith Kip Keino, and now she had the home stretch, very confident, and that is Alemayo. She will be lapping some of the Kenyans in their home class, and Alemayo, the 16-year-old, born in 2008, now in 2024, she's going to be the next and the new Kip Keino champion over the 5,000 meters. 16-year-old, after she had won ahead of Margaret Chelimo, she went to finish on the other side of the pitch. The inexperience that is there. Is it the excitement? Is it the crowd that is here or nothing? she's just given us something to smile about.
Well, of course, I mean, all the cameras here are waiting, to be able to look for Madam Mayo, to be able to show. But of course, she has gone all the way to the end, to the other side of 200 meters, where she started the 5,000 meters. She pushed again another 200. Of course, the inexperience. I mean, the point is that, she has a lot of energy. She didn't know where to finish the race. She decided to do another 200 meters after finishing.
Thank the Almighty. The only time we've witnessed that is where sprinters finish the 100 and make sure that they go take a lap of honor. But this one, Ale Mayo, finishing the 5,000 meters, winning it. But then she goes ahead to another like 400 meters.
Another 200 meters.
Yeah.
Actually 200 meters.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, she didn't know, but of course, she's the winner of Keino. And yes, you can see there, still pushing and being able to run 15:14. Shy away from what a meeting director wanted to see, but it is still very good time for them to be able to do 15. Because remember, everybody's talking about altitude. There, Madam Mayo, she finishes the race, but she decides to continue, as we can see there.
And of course, inexperience playing part to this. But then, Robert, you look at this race, Ale Mayo, 16 years of age, you've covered, you've watched, you've witnessed many athletes at that age breaking into the ranks and ensuring that they do something that at least impresses the masses.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more exciting sports content.